Bones are amazing things. They hold us up, they support us, they make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to Bone Throwers Theater. My name is Jeremy, and I am playing Grayson Digby.
My name is Jeff, and I'm playing Demetrius Norden.
I'm Aaron, and I am playing Brother Benedict.
I'm Johnny, playing Jorus Glave.
And I'm Jordan, and I am the GM.
We found the queen!
We found the queen, finally. So now you got to get her back to the realm of angels.
First, we're going to go visit the Miss King.
We're off to see the Miss King. The wonderful Miss King of Oz.
So how do we get there?
We got to cross the river.
Across the river.
Over the river and through the woods?
Uh-huh.
To grandmother's house we go.
Grandfather.
Is it grandfather?
No,
Your
no.
grandfather's.
No, it's not.
He's not. He's his great uncle.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So are there
Trees?
Yes.
And the trees on the side that we can cut down?
Yes.
Well, according to Adrian, not cut down, find fallen trees.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, this is...
Well, that was on the Miss side.
Yeah, that was on the Miss side. This is...
He said screaming trees are bad.
All trees
That's
are
right.
trees.
That's right, the screaming trees thing.
Okay, yeah.
The screaming tree. No, the screeching eagles.
The screeching All trees are trees, and trees are not bad.
And trees are not bad, no. Trees are useful.
Don't cut down.
So we find fallen trees.
Search! I search a lot. I don't.
I don't.
Stupid one.
20.
You find trees.
Enough trees to-
13.
You find trees.
Yes.
10.
You think you find a tree. It
You
is a
find
stick.
a tree.
At least you found a stick and not dog poop.
You were looking. You thought it was a tree, but it was the queen.
Yes. Now, how do we lash the trees together?
You can use bark from the trees to lash them together.
We had rope last time.
But it melted in the river.
Oh, we did have rope.
Where did
Yes.
we get the rope last time?
Provisions they gave us.
But the rope melted in the river. Which is why we don't have a raft to go back across on
The
already.
bigger the trees. Can we canoe?
Seeing as how they dissolved as giant whole trees last time, I don't think that's an option.
It would also take a long time to hollow.
Yeah.
I appreciate your ingenuity.
Grayson is small enough, he probably could. Canoe.
Boo! Pestilence. So, who wants to lash some trees together with vines or?
I'll attempt to. What would that be? Agility or might or?
I would say it would be agility.
All right.
It's a dexterity thing.
We'll say the difficulty is 12.
Woohoo! I got 12.
I got 12 as well.
Did my eyes deceive me, or did Jeff just roll a 6 on his 12 die?
He did. We're not in combat. That's why.
Yeah. You're right. 12, 14.
You succeed.
Yes.
All three of us succeeded, so we have some well-lashed trees.
Yes.
Yay for tree lashings.
Paddle, paddle, paddle.
Yep. So you get to cross the river.
We're going to paddle faster than we did last time, so we get across before our boat sinks.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll my navigation.
Okay.
Are we doing it the same way we did it last time? 5 successes, something like that.
Yeah. He's good.
Why did you go first?
Well, I have no idea where we're going.
That way.
Across the river.
What's the target?
Well, we'll say the target is 12. We'll make it easy.
We don't care where we land on that side of the river as long as we're on that side of the
You get
river.
less than 12?
Yes, less than 12.
It was like 5.
That's 17.
Okay. So 1 success.
I'm going to go with athletics.
And paddle, paddle, paddle.
Yep. 15.
Congratulations.
I like
16.
the spin.
Another success.
All right.
I'm going to go with might and paddle, paddle, paddle.
You might paddle, paddle, paddle.
I might paddle, paddle, paddle.
So does the queen
I
have to
failed.
succeed as well?
Nope. The queen is a
That's
story element at this point.
How many? Do you have any hero points left?
I have 1 hero point, but that's not enough to get me up. I have 4.
Oh.
I mean, I could roll, spend 2 character points. Yeah, sure. 8. 10.
11.
Plus 1.
12. So that was 3 character points?
That was 3 character points.
So, Jeremy, what is Grayson doing?
To get them across the river, there's not much he can do. He can be the moral support and persuade people to keep going.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Just yell at them. All right, you maggots, roll harder.
You're the, what they call the guy.
Yeah.
Is this the long skinny?
Yeah, the
team.
crew.
Yeah.
So that's 12 right there.
All right, you maggots, put your backs into it.
That's another 10.
You can do it, put your back into it.
Persuade. You persuaded us.
Success.
With 22.
All right.
4 successes.
Yay!
Yeah.
So you managed to get across just fine. Boat does not dissolve much, but you notice it was riding lower in the water than when you started.
We weren't being nearly as cautious this time.
Nope.
No.
You got across. Adrian licks a finger, holds it up. Oh, castle nearby today.
Yes.
Hey.
Lead the way.
And off you go to the castle.
Yay.
It's as if somebody knew you were coming.
Yeah. Imagine that.
It appears. You get into the castle, it disappears.
To the king's chamber.
King Chamber. All right, you're in the King's Chamber.
We gotta wait for him, don't we?
Surprisingly, no.
Really?
He's taking care of business right now.
Oh, awesome.
Your Majesty, may I present?
Your Majesty.
Your Majesty.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Your Majesty, may allow me to introduce her queen.
And King Andrus is very cordial in his greetings to the Queen. Your Highness, it is good to see that you are safe from the Bay Banshee. I will do anything within my power to assist you returning to your throne. And she's kind of out of it at this point still because things. So she doesn't really reply.
If you could assist us in getting back to our realm and racing the Bay Banshee from our realm,
We can do that.
that would be greatly appreciated.
We do have mirrors that you can travel through. I don't know how precise it will be, but we can at least get you to your realm.
And as far as the Bay Banshee in Her Majesty's court, what assistance can you offer us?
Here's the thing. If we restore the queen, then the magic that takes her across will push out the Bay Banshee. It can be an exchange.
Well, that's mighty convenient. Thank you, Your Majesty.
Seems a little too convenient. We'll take it.
I don't trust this mist court king all of a sudden.
It's the magic I don't trust.
Grayson speaks up, and you can tell there's a difference in how he's addressing the Mist Court King.
Okay.
Your Majesty, the Bay Banshee, in their oubliette, as it was described, there are things seen that are quite disturbing.
They tend to have that effect on people.
It was hard to tell what was real. We've got the inclination that some of the things we had seen were from our past. Some of the things we have seen were yet to come. Is there any truth in what the Bay Banshee possess in that place?
There is some wisdom in knowing what the truth of the past and what the truth of the future is. But it's far more important to remember the truth of the present. It's far more important to remember who you are, not what you were or what you will become, but what can I do right now? Who can I be right now? Now, I don't know what you saw. I cannot read your mind, but some things that you thought were the future might well be things of the past, and vice versa. But, as I said, what is more important is for you to know who you are right now. I hope that answers your question.
Gives me things to ponder, Your Majesty.
Well, then my job here is done. For what is the world but a ponderance upon itself? Is there anything else that I can do for you?
Show us the way, if you please.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Adrian should be able to show you where the Mueller Hall is.
May our kingdoms be forever united in friendship.
May that be the case.
To the Hall of Mirrors.
Yep. And it looks like a disco ball.
Bright lights flashing. The floor's changing colors.
Pour on the floor.
I know how to travel to specific locations through mirrors, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Were you asking Adrian or were you asking Jordan?
Myself.
Okay.
Grayson would like to do something, but I don't know what you have planned.
Go ahead.
So he would go on the way to the Hall of Mirrors. He would try and talk discreetly to Benedict, since he knows Benedict has the knowledge of how to
Work the mirrors.
work the mirrors.
Okay.
And say, Brother Benedict, I have a favor to ask of you. When we go through the mirrors,
What's the favor?
there's something I have to take care of. I don't need to go to Didium,
Where do you need to go?
a city to the north.
Okay. I think I can set up a separate mirror for you to go through.
I would not like the rest of the group to know that I'm not returning with them.
I would be willing to help if we can do it discreetly.
Yes.
Sounds like a wit check.
A
think
wit
you
for
should-
discretion?
Grayson will suggest,
Agility.
it's like, why don't we send people through one at a time? We send Demetrius and Jorus through first, then you send me through, then you can join them.
That's acceptable.
Sounds good.
And I don't lie. I say that's how we're going to do it. We will go through one at a time. Benedict doesn't lie.
So which one do we go through? I say that one.
So I tune one of the mirrors to whichever mirror we want to travel to.
So where in the palace do we want to go?
Someone that's not burnt.
I paid very close attention to what he's doing.
Okay.
To the Queen's chamber so she can get dressed? You can't present her in this condition.
I thought she was presentable.
So there's the question that I really don't want to raise.
Okay. Raise it anyway.
Is the castle unscathed?
You'll have to go through and find out.
Yeah, that's the other thought. Should we go to a point outside the main city first?
Yes.
I bet you the Dinsham estate has some gowns that the Queen could wear.
That is not in the city.
And there are mirrors
we should
there.
go there. Yeah.
Tune the mirror to the Dinsham estate.
Good
Okay.
call.
1, 2, 3 people through.
Right. After Queen, Jorus, and Demetrius are through. Okay. Tune it. And you may step through.
Grayson says to Brother Benedict, what I need to take care of is of a personal nature to follow the path of who I am. What I've seen in the oubliette has made me realize what I need to do. I do plan on returning, but I do not know when.
I will make sure that they are aware you have not left permanently.
Right before he goes through, he turns around and says, oh, tell Demetrius not to touch my stuff. And then goes through.
And then you go through.
Then I go through.
All right.
Dinsham estate, Queen gets dressed. Is the city all burned down?
No. It looks like the city is in the process of rebuilding.
Wow, how long were we gone?
A couple months.
Oh my. I wonder who's said they're taking over the crown now.
There's only one way to find out.
Yep.
So do we want to ride in or do we want to mirror in?
Right in.
Okay.
No, it'd be so much cooler to mirror into.
Wouldn't it be so cool just to
into the throne room?
straight into
Just like straight into the
Just
throne
like
room. Be like,
Nightcrawler. Bam.
What would be awesome if we could go to the Queen's stables, get her royal coach, and bring it out, and then ride her in.
That's a huge mirror.
I know.
the coach out of the mirror.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But it would be awesome to bring her in on her royal coach.
So we're gonna ride in.
We're just gonna ride in, yeah.
Okay. Do you ride in a cart or do you ride horses?
Horses.
Okay.
A hovercraft.
We could have grabbed one from the futuristic spaceship thing.
We go through the town center. We need a crier.
Yeah, Benedict. He's done it before.
I've done it before.
Yeah, right ahead and all.
Benedict does so.
Yeah.
Make way for the true Queen of Angelan. Angelan, realm of angels.
Each time he says it, it changes. He's trying to figure out the correct way to say it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Michelangelo!
Los Angeles, what?
Make way for the Los Angelan Queen. The Los Angelan Queen.
Episode title. The Lost Angelan Queen.
Oh, that's great. That's rich. And people are just like stopping and looking at you all, and you have to like do your serious face to like get them to move out of the way. It's a bit of an intimidation type of thing.
Okay, I'm intimidating enough. Do I actually need to roll intimidation? Is it a might?
It's a charm.
It's a charm. It's like a command roll.
Can I try seduce? I at least have a +1 to that.
Yeah.
What is it?
He rolled a 6
Oh, man.
and a 1 on his wild.
He rolled a 0.
He rolled a 0.
It would be more imposing if you hadn't fallen into a puddle of mud right before you went on into the forest.
I got a 12 on intimidation.
Yeah, you look really scary compared to this.
Oh yeah, I'm a big monk. I'm intimidated by a monk. I mean, really. Yeah.
Ooh, what's happened to your falcon?
I know.
Months that you're going.
I know.
She's been living in the forest. She comes back to you.
I was going to give out a cry after we got the team started. But
You go through the town, and the more intimidating Jorus actually is able to ease the pathway for the queen.
you're still the crier.
I'm still saying it, but
Yes.
he's actually doing all the heavy lifting of making people move.
Yes. And you get to the castle just fine, and it's obvious, like, guards are, like, going ahead of you guys, letting royalty know who's coming. And Lord Cheddar actually meets you at the head of the Privy Council.
We're Cheddar. I told you we would return with Her Majesty.
That you did. It took you long enough, but it's good to see you. Your Majesty, let me take you into your royal chambers. She seems tired from the road trip.
Oh, yeah.
It's been...
She's still recovering.
Yeah. He's like, when she's rested and recovered, then we will make sure that she is properly placed in charge.
Thank you for your trust in us.
I'm glad to see that it was well-founded. Wasn't there a fourth one of you?
He's fine.
I did not tell anyone where he went. When I got through, I told you all that he stayed behind in the Fey realm.
Ooh. I know that wherever he's going to be fine. So I'm just like,
How's right? He can use his
he's
key.
fine.
So we are going to go ahead and do a montage around the table. Now that you have returned to the queen, we'll say we'll go around 3 times. Since he has not been with us, we'll go ahead and start with Grayson. Yes.
The scene is Grayson on the outside of the town, and it's considerably farther north. And even though it's a couple months later, it's still snowy. So he's coming out of, looks like a field house that's right outside the town.
Okay.
The town looks a little bit,
Worse for wear.
yeah, from the stories that Grayson heard of the town. Obviously it was Nordinium, but wasn't,
A hole in the wall.
yeah, but it looks like a hole in the wall. Now, I mean, there's the people that are out and about don't look very well dressed at all. There's a smell coming from the whole entire town. He's just walking through looking for a cobbler shop.
Okay. And that's your scene?
Yeah.
Okay. Demetrius.
Goes back to his shop and starts cleaning up from all the mess. Get something to patch the holes, clean up the glass, and
Actually, first thing you notice when you walk into your shop is there's 3 large crates of something that weren't there when we left.
He's gonna walk in, see the 3 crates, and just be like, okay. And just go about his business of cleaning everything up and getting his stuff back in order.
Benedict.
Benedict is back at the theater, and he is sitting on the edge of the stage with a large group of Fae sitting in front of him, and he is teaching.
Jorus.
Well, Jorus was insistent on hanging around the palace for several days, would not leave the queen, basically acting as her personal guard.
Hashtag clingy boyfriend.
The council,
The Privy Council.
Privy Council, was in the process of making the coronation plans for whomever it was we said. He had actually been ruling the country for the past month, and they were in the process of the coronation plans to crown him king.
Grayson.
So Grayson is striking out. There seems to be only one cobbler shop in the town, and it doesn't have anybody recognizable in there. So he's milling around, and he comes across a traveling play troupe.
Okay.
And as he's passing by, some of the lines catch his ear, and it seems to be a story of refugees of a burning city. So he sits and he listens to the rest of the play.
Demetrius, Norden.
Demetrius goes to the Horologist Guild and finds the headmaster and announces that he is going to start working on his master.
Like, rather than journeyman status, he wants to move on in the guild. Okay.
He's going to master time.
I'm a time master.
Brother Benedict is now sitting in front of a large group of humans and teaching and gesturing in large...
Are you still in the theater?
Yes.
Have you just, like, taken the wind thing as your whole...
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. But I'm no longer wearing the plain brown robes that I was. They are the robes that I saw my master wearing when we were in the
Question is, were those Riemann robes?
Or did the Riemann Church adopt them later? Or earlier?
I guess the main question is there Riemann symbols on it?
Funny symbols like a circle with a line straight up and down through it.
Yeah. Jorus.
The queen appointed Jorus head of the royal spies to replace Walsham. Yeah. So Jorus has moved into Walsham's rooms at the palace and has started scouring through all of his paperwork and just researching everything that he had going on that Jorus was unaware of. Man, it's a shame those dossiers are missing.
Alright. Last round.
Shame. Alright, so the next scene, you see Grayson at the edge of the town again, and he's talking to, looks like a older gentleman, and the older gentleman is pointing off in the distance outside of the city, and you see Grayson sort of rush off, and where he's rushing to is actually a graveyard. You see him run up and just fall on his knees in front of 2 gravestones, but then all of a sudden he sort of perks up, stands back up, and he sees rose petals across the top and a set of footprints off into the snow, and he starts to follow the footprints.
Being inspired by the wonders of technology that he saw in the oubliette, Demetrius is determined to build something fantastic and great. The world has never seen before. Something that has a power of its own, that doesn't use magic, but is its own magic.
And he changes his name and moves to Italy.
Yep.
Leonardo.
I was thinking he becomes the Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
Benedict, you see him walking up towards a cave in the woods with a large group of intermingled human and fae wearing brown robes with him, and a woman on each of his arms. As he walks into the cave, which is now lined with mirrors.
Ooh. Approval.
As part of his duties, Jorus has kept track of each of his companions on his adventure.
No, he hasn't.
Well, he's still being sure in the realm of Fae. These two. So he knows exactly what's going on in their lives. And you last see him with Aracha the Falcon on her perch in his chambers, and he's writing notes about Brother Benedict's following and to be careful of what Demetrius might be building.
Spy to the end. Alright, well, and that wraps up our final episode of Angel's Guard. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means that you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is @bonethrowerstheater, and also you can look us up on Facebook. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.